Hello. They said the footage would never surface, but once it did, the internet decided his fate in seconds. A leaked clip, a viral post, and suddenly one of the most powerful names in hip-hop was trending for all the wrong reasons.
I wasn't in the ad
Right.
because of look, JayZ and them was putting it together.
Mhm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like what is the issue?
When 50 Cent hit post, the narrative exploded. Not rumors, not whispers, but full-blown accusations tied to JayZ himself. For years, Hove stood untouchable, billionaire mogul, family man, culture architect. But December 2024 changed everything.
With M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, "Yeah, I talked to the big homie. He was saying to Jay, he was telling me, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50."
I hit the homie, the big homie JayZ, right? And I told him to come pull up on me. And he pulled up on me and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
That's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh.
A lawsuit dropped, a Jane Doe, a claim reaching back over 2 decades, and the timing too perfect to ignore. The story painted a dark picture, a private after-party, a teenage victim, a name that shook the industry. Social media didn't wait for facts, they waited for blood. But almost immediately, cracks appeared. Timelines didn't line up. Witnesses couldn't confirm key moments. Locations didn't exist the way the story claimed they did. Every detail that should have locked the case in place started falling apart. JayZ didn't hide, he didn't settle, he didn't apologize. Instead, he went to war, calling the case a setup, calling the accusations fabricated, and promising consequences for everyone involved.
And it looks like he might actually do it, because on Instagram, he posted a drawing of JayZ that kind of makes fun of his looks. And he posted that photo and he said this in the caption, "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it." Basically making a joke, because obviously he posted it on his social media. But, and here's the interesting but in this, is someone commented on the post and the comment got liked by 50 Cent.
Then came the moment no one expected. The lawsuit vanished. No settlement, no payout, no admission. Just gone. But this wasn't the end, because winning wasn't enough. JayZ fired back. Lawsuits, counterattacks, and claims of extortion. This wasn't damage control. This was retaliation. And while courts argued law, 50 Cent controlled the internet. Deepfakes, mockery, relentless pressure. Old beef resurfaced, old grudges reignited. Was this about justice? Was it about money? Or was it about something much older? Power, pride, and revenge. Because the case may be dismissed, but the war, it was just getting started.
And this is the comment. It's from Dom KMDA. I hope I pronounced that right. Dom Kanmata. He commented saying, "My only question, he's next, isn't he?" And 50 ended up liking that comment.
Behind the scenes, 50 was building something bigger, a Netflix project, The Reckoning, announced in 2024, with 50 as executive producer alongside director Alexandria Stapleton. He teased exclusive footage, hinted at shocking revelations, let the internet connect dots that were never confirmed.
There's also something that's very interesting that went over a lot of people's heads, and that's the documentary coming out on December 2nd. That Diddy documentary coming out on that date, literally 2 days later, you have JayZ's birthday, December 4th, which to me sends a subliminal message to JayZ that you're next. So that's crazy. That just, to me, shows that 50 is potentially going to work on something.
Then came the timing. The documentary premiered December 2nd, just 2 days before JayZ's birthday. To some, that felt deliberate. To others, coincidence. But speculation exploded. Was JayZ next? Then the documentary dropped, and JayZ? Nowhere. No mention, no allegations, no exposé, nothing.
Thing that caused a lot of tension was the Super Bowl. When Dr. Dre had the Super Bowl show, Eminem wanted 50 Cent to be a part of the Super Bowl. And JayZ said he didn't want that to happen. He didn't want 50 there. And it was actually Nori from Drink Champs that confirmed that it was Eminem that pushed for 50 Cent to be there, and that Eminem wouldn't be a part of the show unless 50 was involved. And then JayZ was like, fine, the white boy, asked for 50. We're going to make it happen, I guess. So basically, JayZ didn't want him at the show, which is crazy.
Later, 50 addressed it directly. He said the project wasn't personal. It was focused on victims. And if there's nothing credible to put on screen, you don't put it there. Legally, that made sense, because by mid-2025, there was no evidence tying JayZ to anything criminal. And after watching JayZ go nuclear in court, 50 knew the line between trolling and defamation.
Huge victory for JayZ and Diddy, actually, as a lawsuit has been dropped against them. This was a lawsuit that got a lot of headlines because, you remember, this was filed back in December. The accuser said she was just 13 at the time that, as she put it, Diddy and JayZ raped her at a VMA after party back in 2000. Well, that lawsuit is no more. She voluntarily filed to dismiss it today without prejudice, filed those documents in federal court. And that means without prejudice. That part means that it cannot be refiled. There was no settlement here. This was her going in and dropping the case.
There's a huge difference between Instagram and Netflix. One disappears in 24 hours, the other lives forever and gets lawyers involved. Without real accusers, without on-record testimony, there was no documentary to make.
Imagine JayZ is thrilled with the victory, but is also really pissed he even had to go through this. He gave us a statement saying that the fictional tale they created was laughable, if not for the seriousness of the claims. I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, my loved ones, and I have endured can never.
The Super Bowl situation only added fuel. Rumors that JayZ's Roc Nation had influence over who hit that halftime stage. If 50 really felt blocked behind the scenes, then his online behavior wasn't random. It was resentment finally finding an outlet. But here's the reality. By late 2025, the noise didn't touch JayZ's empire. Roc Nation kept its NFL partnership. Champagne and cognac brands stayed strong. No contracts canceled. No financial fallout. The system didn't move against him because legally there was nothing to move on.
Tony Busby was the lawyer who filed this lawsuit for the plaintiff, who filed anonymously. He is the guy who's filed dozens at this point of cases against Diddy. And JayZ had a shot for him, saying this 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe. And when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed.
The pressure hit closest at home. Beyoncé and the kids stepped back from the spotlight, briefly, then reappeared together. Red carpets, public unity, no cracks visible. JayZ's strategy was clear. Fight in court, not online. So what does this all mean? For 50, it was unfinished business. For JayZ, it was another obstacle survived.
No sentencing, no criminal charges, a dismissed lawsuit, and a reputation that held. The internet wanted a downfall, the courts wanted facts, and facts decided everything. Some beefs end with a handshake, some end with silence, but some are built to last forever. What makes this feud different isn't the insults, it's not the memes, it's not even the lawsuits. It's the fact that 50 Cent and JayZ represent two completely different philosophies of power, and neither one respects the other's way of winning. JayZ believes in quiet dominance, boardrooms, ownership, control behind the scenes, influence without noise. 50 Cent believes in visibility, pressure, public leverage. If something's happening, the world should see it. That's the core conflict. To JayZ, survival means staying untouchable, never reacting emotionally, never feeding chaos. To 50, silence looks like manipulation, like doors closing quietly, like power being used without accountability. So when opportunities disappear, 50 doesn't forget. That's why this beef never needed diss records. It moved into something deeper: business, influence, narrative control. The kind of war where nobody announces the shots, but everyone feels them. Social media only made it permanent. In the past, beefs cooled off because time passed. Now, nothing disappears. Every post is archived. Every clip is replayed. Every moment gets reinterpreted when the timing is right. So when JayZ faced pressure, 50 didn't see a legal case. He saw confirmation, proof that even untouchable figures bleed, and when they do, the narrative matters more than the verdict. But here's the twist: JayZ survived, legally, financially, publicly. And that's exactly why the beef doesn't die. Because unresolved conflict doesn't end, it waits. 50 can't claim victory, JayZ won't acknowledge the war. So the tension stays suspended. No closure, no apology, no reconciliation, just memory. And as long as both men remain powerful, this rivalry stays relevant, not loud, not constant, but ready, waiting for the next moment, the next weakness, the next opportunity. This beef will never die because it's not about hate. It's about respect that was never given, power that was never shared, and two men who refuse to play the same game. Some wars don't end with winners. They end with endurance.